Hi guys, this is Julia for Ways to Wander, and today I'm interviewing Alonso. Alonso is an experienced world traveler from Israel who was traveling while COVID happened to the world. He was lucky enough to be stuck in Vanuatu, an island country located in the South Pacific Ocean, west of Fiji. All right. Hi, Alonso. I'm super excited to have you here jumping on this Skype call with me. I have been following your adventures on your social media, and I'm really excited to hear about all your experiences traveling while Corona happened to the world.
Okay.
Yeah, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where
So,
are you originally from?
so my name is Alonso. It's like kind of a nickname of mine. Most of my friends calling me like that. My real name is Alon. Is a really famous, popular name in Israel. I'm from Israel originally as well. I'm 28 years old. And actually, all my travels and everything started in Israel. We have to go to the army when you're 18, and you go for 3 years. So I finished when I was 21. And then it's really popular thing to go to travel as a first trip, like maybe to go travel maybe into India, Asia, or maybe to South America. And so after I finished the army, I worked 1 year in Israel, and then I decided to go for my first trip to South America. I'm also my roots is I'm half Argentinian. My dad born in Argentina. So I felt like the Latin culture and everything is really calling me, and I felt like I have to go and see and feel the people and travel the countries and go all around. So I started traveling in South and Central America. It was for 1 year, and usually after the first trip, everyone go back to Israel and start study or something like that. And me, I came back to Israel, and after 5 months in Israel, I felt something is not right. I'm not full from traveling, and I want to do it again. So I went to Asia. I went traveling there actually with the start. It was my ex-girlfriend, and we traveled together. It was also different kind of travel to travel with someone as a couple. And then we got separated after a while. We traveled India, Nepal, Myanmar, and then in Thailand we got separated. And then I kept traveling by myself or with a friend. I kept going to Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and back to Thailand again. And after that, I went back to Israel. It was 10 months traveling, and then I went back to Israel. And still, I felt like something is not good. Like I went back to Israel, but I felt like, okay, I'm going to try and find an apartment and maybe think about school or something like that. And then my mom actually sent me an email about a summer camp in United States. So I checked about it. I signed in everything, and then I got the job actually. And so after just 3 months in Israel, I went to United States to this summer camp. I was working there with children, and it was really nice, but it was just like for 1 month and a half. Then I kept traveling a bit in the United States, and then I went down again to Mexico, Central America. I lived a bit in Mexico, volunteered, doing some fire shows on the street for small money. All that, by the way, all this fire and all the flow word, I came into it in Thailand. When I was in Thailand, I stopped in one place and started to do all of that. So in Mexico, I was working with that a bit and making some small money. Then I went back to Israel, but this time I knew that it's not gonna be for life. Like I'm gonna keep traveling. And then like I stayed actually a long time in Israel. It was 10 months. And during those 10 months, I planned my next travel, and I got a working holiday visa to New Zealand. And that was my last trip. I went to New Zealand. I was there for more than 1 year. Then I went to the Pacific Islands. I went to Samoa, Fiji, and then I got to Vanuatu. And then the coronavirus started. And as it sounds, like I really got stuck in Vanuatu because the corona didn't get to Vanuatu, and they were really afraid because the health system is not so good in Vanuatu. So they decided to close all the country, all the flights in, all the flights out, and all the moving between the islands inside Vanuatu. So yeah, so it was pretty funny. I just got stuck there on one island. Lucky for me, I was staying there with a family that they accepted me and they didn't mind me to stay there as much as I want. And they take care from me about food and about place to stay and about everything I needed. And it was really amazing adventure and amazing and unique as well, because there was no other travelers there, no other tourists, and most of the people over there are black, like all of them are black. So I was the only white man walking around there, so everyone knew there is one white man somewhere on the island. And yeah, it was really nice, really good time.
So basically, when Corona happened, you were isolated on this island. You had to be staying on this island, being quarantined with the people, with the locals there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so basically, like, the Corona already started on December, but it was still like rumors, no one knew what's happening, what's going to happen. So I kept traveling. I went to Samoa. There was still like just small talks about the Corona. I went to Fiji, and then it became a bit like more like some countries, maybe China got closed already or something like that. And then I moved to Vanuatu. Like, already before I moved to Vanuatu, my parents told me maybe you should go to Australia, maybe you should go to a developed country because we don't know what's going to happen. But again, I was connected to the media, but I didn't really understand what's the Corona going to happen. No one really knew what's the Corona going to happen. Like, everyone thought, even if it's going to be closed the border, so maybe 2-3 weeks and they're going to open it, not going to be a problem. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go to Vanuatu and I will see what's going to happen, because this is how I travel as well. I'm kind of go with the flow, I will be there and everything will be okay. Like, I had a good feeling in my heart, good hinge. I don't know how to say it, but I had a good feeling that this is what I should do. And yeah, so I got to the island. First week, everything was perfect over there. And again, I just have to talk about Vanuatu a bit. Vanuatu is one country that it's made of small islands, many small islands. So there is the main island with the capital city. So I was there for 1 week. And then before the Corona closed everything, I moved to another island on the south of the area of Vanuatu. And this island is beautiful island with a lot of activities, but there is no too much things for tourists. There is no restaurants for tourists, no pizza, burgers, no hostels, no good. There is hospital, but not like in a good good level or something. So I got there, and then they closed all the moving between the islands. No flight out of Vanuatu, and not moving inside the islands. So I was really stuck on this island. Again, at the start, the locals didn't know what's happening. They heard about something. Most of the locals over there as well don't have any ability to know what's happened. They heard coronavirus, COVID-19, but they didn't know what's happening. What they thought, maybe you go, if you have a cut on your hand, so you have like worms coming out and it's becoming white. They didn't know what is Corona. So I was telling them about it, and I told them it's like to get the flu and to be sick a bit, but it's go worse. And they really didn't afraid of it. They thought like, nah, it's not gonna come here. And I wanted to believe them, but I was afraid, because it's got to a lot of places in the world, also to Israel and also Europe and so like everywhere. And after months that I wasn't afraid all the time, but I was a bit like concerned. After 1 month, they realized it didn't get to Vanuatu. And they were right, like the locals were right. It just didn't gather, and they were keep living normally. Everything was normal. Yeah, sometimes they came and they told them you need to wash your hands and you need to be in social distance. But the locals don't live like that, and they don't really afraid from the coronavirus, and it didn't gather. So they kept living normally. Everything was pretty normal. Like, they kept meeting, they kept shaking hands, they kept hugging, like, nothing really changed in their way of life, or of course, there was no tourists. So everyone that worked with tourists or hotels or things like that, they felt the impact of the coronavirus. But the simple people over there, like most of the people, the locals, didn't really felt the change or that something happened. So for me, it was the same. I came to the country. There was no coronavirus, so I could keep traveling. I kept traveling inside the country while all the world was in quarantine. I kept going around the island and I kept meeting people. And it was it. The funny thing that I was the only tourist, like I said before. So maybe big people um, don't act differently in their life for the coronavirus, but they know there is no tourist right now. But then they see someone, they are like, what? Why there is a white man here? They're like, what? Who are you? Why are you here? What's happening? So beside the fact that Vanuatu is like the happiest people and the generous people I've met in all my travels, but they don't use the white men. The white people will go and stay with the locals, and I really stayed with the family there. So they were really surprised to hear that I'm actually staying with the local family and living with them and eat the same food as them and sleep the same way as them and and helping them and working with them. They were really surprised about that and all the fact that I'm there in the time of the corona. So every person I met there was so generous and so nice. So yeah, it was just all the time like to feel like unique or something like that. Like it was so interesting because imagine that everyone putting attention on you, but not in a bad way. Like it's not like I like to be in attention, but everyone want to know you. Everyone want to hear your story. Everyone's so interested about you. And it's people that don't know same things as we know. So when you tell them something, it's maybe the first time they hear it. Like maybe even about simple things that we used to, things that I can't even think about now, but they don't have any access to internet. Like they can have it. There is like a internet and things like that there, but they don't have enough money to buy it. So people there, the only thing they heard about there, for example, was the black man's life matter. Black's life that happened actually. The killing of one of the black people in the United States. So they heard about that, and they just heard about it. They didn't really know what's the story. So I told everyone there the story, and to be honest, like they didn't really knew about all the like they didn't really understand that black people in other countries are not equal or not like they think all the time that the white people are, I won't say better, but they think the white man is living in a way of like you can see my room. I have a bed, I have a comfortable bed and a mattress and pillows and things like that. So they will sleep like on the floor if they like, it doesn't matter for them. So they think the white man is living in this kind of way and the black people live in this kind of way. But then I try to tell them, like in United States, for example, they live equally or they want to live equally, and they didn't know those things. For example, like they didn't know that black people in other places in the world are trying to live like the white man, I would say, or something like that, or equally to the white man. And yeah, it was just funny to have this experience of talk with people that really got stayed in the past. Like really, it feels like you're going in Vanuatu and it feels like you go back in time, like 100 years past or something. It was beautiful. It was really, really beautiful.
So you would say that you ended up in the best place for this time?
Oh, it was for sure the best place to be in this time. There was no coronavirus. The people are so kind. The language they talk there is really similar to English. So after 2 months over there, I already talk their language. It's called Bislama. It's kind of a broken English, so it's even more simple than English. But it takes some time to get used to it. But after 2 months, I already spoke it. So for me, it was the perfect country. It was also on the Pacific Island, so you have the sea all around. So you go and you fish. You go and catch fish. You have endless of coconuts, mangoes, any fruits you want. It's endless. Like you can take every time and it's free. Like there is no such a thing, this tree belonged to me or to my family. Everything belonged to everyone. You can go and be everywhere. You can go and again, because I was a white man and not part of them, if I was walking somewhere and someone see me, he will come and he will give me a present or will give me something because they're just kind. They're just nice people and they want to help or they want to get to know you or so they were just, I think it was the best country to stay in this kind of time. And there was no coronavirus. That's, I think, the top. Like there was no fear, there was no quarantine, there was no any insulate, like it was free. It was just normal, kept being normal in a not normal time. So it was really nice.
Oh, that's really amazing. So when did you realize the impact that COVID-19 had on the world? Like, how did you realize that it even had an impact when you were there, like in your very nice?
Yeah. So first thing, like I told you before, if you have money, you can have a phone and you can have data and internet, everything. So I came after working in New Zealand, so I had enough money to buy for myself a SIM card, and I had access to data and internet. And of course, I talked with my parents. You know, me, I was actually I knew good what's happening. I checked almost every day because I needed to check about flights and about what's happening. So I saw at the start, I was a bit panicking as well because I saw the numbers are going up and up and up and up. And a lot of people start to die and a lot of countries closed and I was a bit worried. Like I was in heaven, I was really in paradise, but at the same time you think like, okay, how long I'm gonna stay in this paradise? Like it's gonna be now 1-2 months or 6 months. The only thing that was really hard, it's the not knowing. Like okay, I'm in paradise, but at least I want to know I'm gonna be in this paradise for 6 months or 3 months or 1 year. Just the not knowing, that was the hard thing over there. But I knew what's happening in the world. I knew every time, and I talked with my parents a lot, and I heard what's happening in Israel. Israel that time was actually doing good with the corona. Now not so good, but back then it was actually pretty good. And again, I didn't worry because I knew like I have a bed in the night, I have 3 meals a day for free. So worst case, I'm staying here. It's not a big problem, but I just didn't know how long. That's the only thing that was a bit like, I just wanted to know how long. But if someone would tell me you have to stay for 1 year, that's okay. I didn't mind to stay there for that long as well.
And how long did you stay in the end?
At the end, it was 3.5 months. And the first plan was just maybe 3 weeks, maybe something like that. And it ended up 3.5 months. Also, when I left there, it was they sent me an email that there is a flight going to Australia now, and if I want, I can go on this flight, and if no, they don't know when it's going to be the next flight. So I thought, okay, I should go on this flight because who knows how long I'm going to stay here. And also, it was at the end of the first wave of the coronavirus, so I thought, okay, things are finishing now, I can go back to Israel, work a bit, and then go and traveling again. But as I come back to Israel, the second wave just started, and now Israel is actually not such a good number of people get the corona now. Really big number now.
Okay. So how were your plans before corona happened? Like, what was the plan? What would have happened?
Yeah, my first plan was actually I was in New Zealand with working holiday visa. So, and while I was there, I got my working holiday visa to Australia. So my first plan was to go to Vanuatu, be in Vanuatu 2-3 weeks, no more, and then go to Australia. And yeah, okay. and then Corona happened. That's I feel like that's the end of every sentence. So yeah, so my first plan was to go to Australia, to work in Australia, and to keep work and travel. And Corona started, so I got stuck in Vanuatu. And while this time as well, my visa got the dates finished, so the date expired, so my visa expired. And yeah, and then I found myself just stuck in Vanuatu. So I knew that the next thing after Vanuatu is to go back to Israel, because it was also 1 year and 7 months that I was outside of Israel. So I wanted to come back and see my family, see my friends. And I just really hope that soon I can go back again, travel. Who knows?
You have already plans where you will travel next?
Yes, I have plans, even though no one really know what's going to happen. So again, right now, it's not like I have too much money. I worked in New Zealand, but I spent all this money, all the money that I worked for, I spent in the Pacific Islands. So right now, I need to make money somewhere, somehow. So right now, my only option is Israel, because I cannot, even if I can go out to some countries, I cannot work in those places, in those countries. So I have to wait until maybe Australia will get open again. Right now, Australia is closed. Or maybe some countries in Europe, or maybe even like maybe some countries in Asia, like South Korea, that maybe I can go and work there. But I just need to wait until they will open the option for get the working holiday visa. And right now, there is not such an option. So I'm waiting for those one of those countries to get open, and then I think I will keep going. And if the coronavirus will really going to stay for a long time, so I believe I will go for like work in Israel and go for a short trip, come back to Israel and go for a short trip, come back to like something like that, with working and go work and go come back and work and something like that.
Well, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah. No, I think after my third or even now after this trip, I'm sure about it that this is what I want to do in my life, like traveling and see the world and meet new people and new cultures and try to learn new languages and to just explore. Like it's so, especially after this experience in Vanuatu, I realized how much, like Vanuatu, it's a country that most of the people that I now speak with never heard about even. But everyone knows Fiji. Fiji is just like the next country next to Vanuatu. But it's a bit a shame because Vanuatu is even prettier, like I would say. Like I enjoyed Vanuatu, like even without the coronavirus story and all about that, I really enjoyed a bit more in Vanuatu than I enjoyed in Fiji. But this is depends on the people. I know it's not for everyone. But I'm just saying, like, I'm so thankful to that because of traveling, I got to know a new country that not many people knows about and new culture that not many people know. So, it's just weird to be in this world, but not to know that these countries exist. And beside of Vanuatu, there is so many more countries that I never knew before. And because of Vanuatu, actually, it made me open the map of the world and to try to look for countries that I never heard the name before. And actually, this is also with the coronavirus. Now I'm trying to follow like countries with the numbers of the corona. So I'm checking about many countries that I never heard about them before, but I just want to check how much the corona affected there, what's happening there, what's the history, where is those countries. And yeah, and just nice to know about more places in the world that you never heard about them before. Right.
Yeah, that's a really interesting approach, and I really, really enjoy to hear about your experience and experiences. Very interesting. So the first time you actually had to put on a mask was on the flight back to Israel?
Yes, like less than a month ago. Like it was all the time in Vanuatu. I saw the mask. It's not like, again, I was connected to the internet, but no one in Vanuatu walked with a mask. It was corona free, so there was no social distance. Maybe they just told people to wash their hands and to use soap or something like that, but beside that, that's it. Like nothing. So first time for me with a mask was maybe a month ago. Yeah, I would say something like that.
Awesome.
The flight back to Israel. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing for sharing your experience. This has been super interesting. And
Thank
I'm
you.
very excited for you to keep on traveling, of course, and also for me to keep on following your travels through your
You
social.
are really
So
welcome to follow and to ask questions. And
yeah, tell us about your social media and where can people follow you? Where can people
so
learn about you?
So that's something new I started just now, actually. Like in my time in those Pacific Islands, I started like right now it's a Facebook page and an Instagram account called Alonso Adventures. Um, yeah, and over there I just publishing. I start to make some videos about every country I'm traveling. I have pictures from every country that I traveled, and sometimes I'm writing like a post, like updating or writing about the country or things like that. And yeah, I just want to share this, all of that, all my experience and all this travel and all those countries. Like, the same as I didn't know what is Vanuatu, but now thanks to me, maybe 20 more people know about Vanuatu. And thanks to me, again, I'm saying with that, but like 5 people already talk with me about Vanuatu, about going traveling there. And I'm so happy that I made other people want to go to travel in those places that no one heard about them before. And to share what I know and share my knowledge, that's I wish I could make money from that one day, but beside it, I wish it can really go to many people that want to know those knowledge and information. And again, if everyone see it and want to know more about Vanuatu, about one of more of those countries I talked about, you can really just send me a message or something, because I really like to help people and help them to plan their trip or to make some plans, or I don't know, to give them any information I can. And yeah, that's what I wish, to help people and to show people my experience, my adventures, Alonso adventures.
Beautiful, awesome. Thank you so much again, Alonso.